Alright, I've been talking to my buddy John for years. He's the one that invented the Demo-Dozer Bucket. And I've got an adaptation. It's an improvement on his bucket. He doesn't like to think anybody can improve on his bucket, but you know what? When you see this, you're going to agree with me. This is going to improve the value of the Demo-Dozer Bucket significantly. What I did is I put these little receivers in here, one on either side. Very simple. You can put a pin in here and clip it on the back. It's a standard 2-inch receiver. First thing I've got here is a trailer ball. I can push my trailer around into the tightest locations. I can take a chipper down the hill. I've got a dump trailer that I can take to the brush rather than fighting it, and just maneuvering around in the yard. This alone is worth its weight in gold, but it gets better. I've adapted a bunch of tools. Here's just a couple of them. Now, they're pretty crude, but and I keep breaking them, so I keep making new improvements. But this one right here is a rake. That works as good as any rototiller. It pulls out ivy, it pulls out vinca, all kinds of brush, weeds of course, but you can push and pull and it grades really, really nice. I tell you, one of the best tools I built is this pick right here. I had to take it to a metal fabricator, and it's solid, and I've got a really heavy duty extension for it. I can also put that pick on this longer extension, and I can dig out trees, I can dig trenches, I can it's just truly an amazing tool. It's like having the power of a really strong robot and putting these indestructible tools in its hand. Alright, here's a man with a pick. He's working pretty hard. Here's a manned robot with a pick. Watch what I can do with this machine. Easily 10 times as fast. Alright, now you might say, hell, I can do that with a digging bucket. Well, yeah, true, you can. But the advantage of this pick isn't so much that you can grade a big area, it's you can get into tight spots. You can dig out roots, you can dig out stumps, you can dig trenches and a lot of other things. But it also works for mixing up the soil really good. So what I did is I separated out the good topsoil, I pushed it over, and I'm going to mix all this up. We're going to put some amendments in here and try and make this a presentable growing area. So now I'm switching tools. I'm going to go over to the rake. And you're saying, oh, what kind of tool is that? It looks like a hokey homemade thing. Well, it is. I made it myself. I made it pretty strong and I beat it up really, really good on some big rocks. And sure, there's a few tines broken and I need to fix it. But it just goes to show you, if you've got this receiver, you can make your own tools. If I spent an hour on this rake, I'd be surprised. And it was just with some scrap metal that I had around. But the value of this tool is unbelievable. And it doesn't stop here. I've built a shovel. I've got a big planting shovel. It's about 24 inches wide. It works great. I've got a hoe that I can use for getting into tight spots. I've got a pry bar that I can get up underneath for lifting up concrete or prying out bigger stumps. I've got a back drag slicing tool that I built that pulls sod off like you wouldn't believe. I just pull it down, set it in the ground, and back up on it. it keeps going. I've got about 10 tools. I got this tool that I built for wrecking houses. It's awesome. It's just a long pole with a couple of side pieces. I go straight in and I pull out the studs, and the house comes down without me having to get right up next to it. So there's a lot of valuable things you can do with these simple little receivers. This one is about 6 years old, and it's still held up really good. I've never had a problem with the cylinders. Whatever cylinders he chose for this are really strong. They grip very, very well. I can't say enough good things about it. So if you've got a skid steer, man, this is the bucket. It really is. It replaces every other bucket I own.